14th birthday, Holland and Wolf. That's where you worked in Belfast. My dad got me my start. Then my brothers after me.
Does this have
You
a
could
high
hear the
top?
noise from where we
We're in the air.
lived, but nothing prepared you for the size of the place. They put me to work
no.
on 401. That's what we called her.
Please tell
We
me
used to
there's
be the
no
largest
drop.
passenger ship in the world, but we didn't call her Titanic then.
We'll only drop
I was
it.
there from the beginning. I watched the ship race lay the keel blocks. They set big wooden blocks on the slipway to start with, then the keel at top of it, like a backbone, and the frames attached to that, like a skeleton.
Workshops everywhere. It took weeks to find your way around. There were workshops for every trade you ever heard of. Painters, sail makers, coppersmiths, boiler makers, cabinet makers. I even learned a bit about French polishing of them.
Harlow's was a fine place to work, but
This is
dangerous.
sick.
Every ship cost a life, and there'd be lots of injuries besides.
I was in the engine works for a while. Very well equipped it was. That's where we built the triple expansion engines. 2 of them, each as high as a 3-story house.
I worked in the frame bending shop. You had heat steel beams in the furnace, then hook them onto slabs of cast iron and hammer them curved.
They
It
made
was
a whole,
skilled
they
work.
made a remake of
You
the
had to bend
furnace.
them more than you needed
That's
because
the
the
actual
frame
furnace.
straightened out a little when it cooled.
That's the actual
Shell
furnace.
plates
This is where
were
the
made of a
Titanic
hull
was
weighed up
made.
to 4.5 tons.
So they actually
They were
took the
taller than
furnace
the
at the
gaff.
Titanic.
The
No.
plates were overlapped
This
on
is how
the
the ship
edges.
was made.
Some were raised, one after another. We called it clincher.
I'm
One of the
going back up.
foremen told me years ago, that's how you build steel ships.
I worked as a heater boy. You had to heat the rivets on a wee plate. You put the bellows till the rivet was white hot. Then you get a hold of it with your tongs and throw it up to the catcher. And he put it in the hole in the plate for the holder up. There were 2 of us on the other side of the plate for the holder up. We had to hammer the rivet so it filled the hole before it turned dull red. The double bottom. That's a wee space we called the tanks, made up of steel plates. The rest of the rivet squad all had to fit into that gap.
I see. They're the metal sheets they use.
One of the 4 men would check each of it with a special hammer.
They're the poles.
If it made a
Those are
ringing
the metal
sound,
sheets, look.
we'd have to go back, chase it out
Oh.
after work. I'd get scared walking down in that double bottom. You only had candles for light. And the constant hammering against the shell plates. You could hear it all over Belfast. Some of those boys ended up stone deaf, so they did. We were paid 31 bob a week. The heater boy and catcher got 16 bob. But we all worked the same 54 hours.
The upper deck was steel too, and part of the strength of the ship. There's no straight lines on the ship, and when you look down the weather deck, you can see the sheer of her hull, but stop her reflection at sea.
This is absolute.
The stern frame had to be strong enough to take the rudder and turning in heavy seas.
Look, that's my.
You'd have all these timbers and guy
I
wires to
see.
steady the frame, and men scurrying around like ants underneath. When we came to launch day, I was torn between pride and fear. The standing ways were coated in tallow, train oil and soft soap. So the ship would slide when they shifted her weight off the blocks. That was the most dangerous part. And the shipwrights were knocking away the last props. They were under compression, you see, and the sliding ways would be released by the hydraulic trigger. 100,000 people watched the launch.
Hey, we're
Some
going
paid
to
a
the
bob to
pub.
sit in the reserved seating.
Let's go
There were
get
extra
drunk.
trams laid on. Then we all went off to the pub to wish her
I
well.
want to get drunk.
Ach, you were proud to be an island man that day,
There's not
and
actually
Titanic
people
was
in
the
there.
pride of Belfast.
It's not real. It's only projectors. There's the story where they say they all went to the pub.
Hey, any chance to go over recently on cold?
Thank you for joining us. The tour will end in a few seconds. Please exit the car carefully and make sure you don't leave any personal possessions behind.
Only
When the
19
car
behind,
has
kids.
stopped, push the lap bar down and lift up to exit safely.